Okay, so we're back. I'm gonna test the volume levels. Want to make sure that this thing's up and running, not like the last go around. Yeah, and there we go. We got volume. It's a good sign. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna get back to some quests. Today was well, not today, but this week was first semester back. We're back for spring. If you read about my stream at all, you know that I'm a student first, gamer second, I guess, and well, there's a lot of other stuff in there too. Right, I got kids, and anyway, right, we play many roles. But today, we're just playing the role of gamer. And if you saw my last video, then you probably saw that it was kind of a crazy week last week. I'd lost my phone. It was gone for a couple days. It was lost in an Uber. And when you lose your phone, apparently it's a hell of a lot harder to try to track whatever you lost in an Uber, because they have you track everything through the app, and you can't access the app without your phone. You can try to log into PC, but in my case, it was sending a text to my phone. So obviously, right, there's no way that I could log in. So anyway, right, the funny story was that that person, the Uber driver, ended up coming up in Facebook, and that's how we were able to track her down. But it's so weird because the following day, right, like that part of the story is what I was talking about in my last stream, but the following day things got even weirder, because I couldn't help but just have that feeling. I'm sure you all have faced this before, right? You see somebody, right, and you're like, I know this person, like I've seen this person before, right? And I kind of had that feeling when I went to go pick up my phone from the driver. But what really got me going was like, and it wasn't just that she seemed familiar, but when I saw her vehicle, what she had picked me up in, the red minivan, like that just kind of really threw me for a loop, because I was like, damn, I know, I really do know this person. I've seen this vehicle before, right? It was just tripping me out, and it was bothering me, because I was on a Saturday night, right? Or excuse me, that was on a Sunday night. On a Sunday night when I got my phone back, because it'd been 2 days without it. And then the following day is kind of when I started piecing things together. Whoa, looks like everybody's dead. Where are we going? Well, I think it's this way. Anyway, right, so the following day, I was just like trying to piece it all together, figuring it out, like, like who was this person and why do I think that I know her and all that other business, right? So we tracked her down via Facebook, right? So the following day, I'm just like, it was just bothering me, the whole day I just kept thinking about it. I'm like, damn, I know this person, I know this person. And it was bothering me that I couldn't figure it out. So anyway, I'm just thinking about it, and then this, like, this is the weirder part, right? Like, this song comes on the radio, right? I'm listening to this song, and it's this artist, and that's kind of when it started coming together for me. So this particular artist, I don't even know, I think it was sometime over the summer, right? Like me and the wife and a few friends, like we went to a concert out in the middle of nowhere, like seriously in the freaking boonies, right? And we're like, well, shit, man, we want to go and we want to have fun with this thing, right? So we decided to take an Uber out there, and I remember that my friends came here, and the Uber came and picked us up from here, and then we left from here out to the sticks, middle of nowhere, went in the middle of nowhere, and I remember as we were arriving at the concert, how we kind of started getting worried because like we weren't getting a really good phone signal. So we're like, shit, man, if we can't, if we don't have a good signal and we can't like utilize Uber, how the hell are we gonna get back? So that's when my friend Manny, I mean, he had the brilliant idea where he's like, hey, can we get your number? Like, if we call you, will you come pick our ass up? And she's like, well, I'm going to be out super late anyway, right? Like, this is a done deal. And if you guys tip me good, then hell yeah, I'm there. Right? So Manny put his number in the phone, or her number in the phone. Right? And I remember this. And I remember that I was even more worried because I'm like, well, shit. If we really do have to rely on a text or a phone call, like, we should probably have more than one phone number that has the information for this driver. So then I remember I grabbed her number too, and I put it in my phone. So, right, like all these thoughts are going through my head, and it was all because of this song that I heard on the radio, and I was putting two and two together. So then I asked the wife, I'm like, hey, so what number did she call you from to let you know she had my phone and to go pick it up, right? So I'm like, I'm entering, well, I mean, that's kind of I'm missing a critical phase of the story here, right? Because the other thing that I didn't realize was apparently in my old phone, I hadn't realized that I had connected it to my new phone. So like my contacts, because I was charging up my old phones, thinking that I wasn't gonna find my phone and I was gonna need to activate one of the old ones. But apparently, right, all my new contacts were in my old phone. So anyway, right, I didn't realize that. So I enter the phone number of this Uber driver into my new phone, the phone that I picked up, and her damn name pops up. It was the same damn Uber driver that has picked us up to go to that concert in the freaking middle of nowhere over the summer, right? So I was like, damn, no wonder I knew her. I knew this, right? And the worst part, right, is had I remembered that, I would have known that I had that. I mean, had I known, number one, that it was her that picked me up before, and number two, that all those damn contacts are my old phone, I could have called her. So again, the whole damn thing was just tripping me out, and I was just like, Jesus, man, like, there's so many ways that this could have gone differently. But you know, that entire experience just kind of taught me that freaking, you know, I think a lot of people know that it's a small world out there, but like, damn, how small could it get? That I had been with this person once before in an Uber, right? And I had her damn number in my phone for some reason. Like, there's just like these series of weird coincidences that just kind of really surprised the hell out of me. Yeah, that was my story. My follow-up story, I suppose, about having lost my phone and how I got it back. It was just crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's been tripping me out all week. I actually couldn't wait to get on stream to tell you the rest of the story because, you know, I thought I'd given it to you all on the last go-around. Yeah, as mentioned, you know, today was my first week of class. You know, I'm taking finance and higher ed this go-around. And I was a little worried, I'll be honest, because, you know, last semester almost killed me. I took law and higher ed, and the damn reading was so intense. We're talking small-ass print reading. So I was really worried because this semester it's the same damn professor, and the amount of work that he gave us was just like freaking ridiculous. Like, I mean, he couldn't even keep up. I swear that here we were at the end of the semester, right? Like, semester's about 16 weeks, and he'd only graded the first week or the first month. I mean, it's just like, damn, this guy's behind. Like, hell, if he can't keep up, how does he expect me to keep up? So I was just really hesitant to register for this class, you know. So the first day I was just like, here we go. Yeah, here we go again. I was so damn close to quitting last semester. This is going to be it. So it was just so funny because he's like, you know, I kind of, you know, last semester was my first semester, and, you know, I kind of realized that I could do things differently, and he, you know, he kind of looks at me and he mentions my name, and he's like, it's going to be different this go around. He's like, I learned my lesson. It's like, the amount of reading isn't nearly the same. So it was just, you know, it made me feel good. It made me feel like, you know, I didn't need to worry as much about this semester as I had last semester, because I was tripping. I seriously was ready to quit. So anyway, yeah, this first week I already finished about half the reading. I did most of it today, and it was kind of cool. I mean, you know, my profession is higher education, so, you know, it's stuff that you kind of know because, right, when you're in it every day. But to get just some additional backstory behind the whole situation, you know, so these particular chapters that I started on really talk a lot about, again, I think something a lot of people know, the fact that the cost of tuition has been rising, you know, and for anyone that hasn't been to school in a while, you probably know that you paid a hell of a lot less back then than people do today, right? So that's what it was talking about, how the cost of tuition has grown at a much faster rate than inflation, right? But it was kind of getting into the specifics of that, you know, and this is something that I have kind of seen myself, but for the people that don't know, right, you might be surprised that when it comes to state money, right, state appropriations that different states give to colleges, universities, in order to operate, right, that amount has been going down over the last 20 years in particular. I mean, it's been going down for a while, but last 10 to 20 years, like, it's been going down a lot. So what does that mean, right? Well, if we're getting less money from the state, and it's not like if anything is getting cheaper, so you kind of have to make up for that somehow, right? So how do you make up for that? Well, hell, that's you all, right? That's why the cost of tuition is going up. colleges and universities aren't seeing as much money from the state, so they have to charge you, the student, more money. So that's really what we're talking about. That's why it's gone up faster than inflation, because there's less revenue coming in. And especially after the freaking recession hit, right? If there was any institution that relied on endowments, right? All that money that, alumni, private donors, whatever, that they give, those people were just SOL, man. Those colleges, I should say. So that in particular was private institutions. Those private institutions tend to rely a lot more on endowments than public institutions. And talking about like research money, just a lot of money dried up, when the economy hit the fan, not just like state money. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of what I was learning about. I just found it really interesting, right? And then kind of the talk about how even from the federal level, right, while federal grant money has increased a little bit, right, not nearly at the pace of inflation. Some grants have actually disappeared. In particular, like vet money has been on the decline. So it was talking about that, and then how what you do see increase when it comes to federal aid, or what we have seen go up, is loan money, right? So again, it's kind of like, the burden is again more on the student. The student is expected to pay. Like if you want to go to college, well, you have to pay for it yourself, kind of thing, right? They're giving you a means to do that. So yeah, that was, I think, chapter 2 there. Anyway, it's just all really interesting stuff to me, because again, some of the stuff I knew, but just kind of adding more detail to it and being able to see some of the charts that were in the chapter that showed trends, just all really interesting stuff to me. Really engaging, because again, I do this stuff every day, so to learn more about it to me is exciting. For anyone that is like looking at college, maybe some of this information too is just like, oh damn, man, no wonder my tuition's going up. Because back in the day, somebody could like work and really pay out of pocket, right? Like you'd actually work yourself through school. That's not a myth. That was possible way back when. Not so much now. Now, especially like if you're in those lower income tax brackets, like, that's kind of another thing that the different chapters that I was reading was kind of going off about, in that, income levels have not kept pace with the cost of tuition. So, families tend to pay a greater percentage of their disposable income for college, but that's even, it's worse for the people in the lowest income brackets. Like, for those that are in the middle income brackets or higher income brackets, they can still afford college, right? Like the gap isn't that big. But when it comes to the people that are the lowest wage earners, the gap is like freaking grown exponentially. That's kind of what this chapter was getting at. So really, like, the authors kind of like tell them that, us as practitioners, when the states and the feds are kind of really pushing away from assisting those that have financial need, and there's a greater percentage of aid that's going to merit-based scholarships and things, right? Those that have a lot of financial need are kind of being priced out of an education. So, especially, for those of us that work in higher ed, that could be a big deal, especially, you work at a public institution, or even like a public 2-year institution. If people can't afford to go to school, that's a big deal. And then one of the other things that I didn't read about here, but that I know just because I've done research on it myself, and some of the other classes have mentioned it, is that the high school age population in particular, and this is a nationwide trend, right? The high school age population has been on the decline. We're starting to see some states are actually like, they've been dropping in enrollment just because, high school students aren't out there. So if they're not focusing on adults, they're going to like just really drop. And, if you drop in enrollments, what does that mean? It means drop in revenue, right? There's no money, there's less money. So that's kind of created the necessity for a lot of colleges out there to just really get better about how they reach out to prospective students and older students, right? A lot of rethinking about how we operate. And that's kind of one of the things that, well, at least in the state that I live, right, that's not an issue. But other states, like, we're talking serious issue. You're talking about, like, maybe double-digit declines in the high school age population. So if they're not looking for students outside of high schools, like, yeah, they're not going to survive. So yeah, it's just been, again, really engaging for me. And I guess I'm kind of lucky, as an administrator in higher ed, I get to see a lot of that stuff firsthand. Um, but even so, I mean, just because we go so deep into it, I'm still picking up things here and there as I read through the chapters that I've been assigned. Oh, and some of the coursework too, I just didn't really have much experience in. I mean, when I took my curriculum class, I mean, that was kind of eye-opening for me to learn the history of curriculum. I mean, I've taught before. I actually taught political science at college, but it's just, that to me, it's different because, you're given a lot of the material and sure you customize it, but I mean, you know what your learning outcomes are, but there's so much more to that. So much more to curriculum than just like learning outcomes, right? There's like, the history, the philosophy, just how people learn. So yeah, it's been really great. And it's a long ass program, I'll tell you that. I'm only about like 2.5 years in out of what's probably going to be an 8-year program. It depends on how fast I write once I get to my dissertation. But I mean, heck, these last 2.5 years have gone by a lot faster than I ever expected them to go. So yeah, it's been great. It has been great. And I think I'm past that point now, especially after having survived that damn law class. Past that point where I feel like I'm gonna fail out and just not be successful. So that's a big load off. Because it can be hella scary. I think a lot of people are scared just to go to college, and imagine once you start getting up into those graduate levels, especially if you don't, you're first generation, right? It's not like if you have a family member that's been there and done that, can show you the way. I don't know, man, that's been on me. So yeah, it's been fun. Definitely been a lot of fun. I forget. I think one of my last pulse rifle had that auto trigger, and I like that. It just, not that I can't push a button, but it's just convenient. Where's the other guy? Where's the third dude? Come on, boys. Where you guys at? Oh, well. I mean, these strikes pretty easy, right? It's not like if it's hard or anything. Oh, man, let's get these bounties out of the way. Get some more gear. Need to get some more cores. Yeah, that's the one thing, I don't know what's different since I got... Well, actually, you know what? Thinking about it, I do know what's different. It seemed like as you're getting your ranks up, that it's just like, cores come in steadily. I mean, you can get them from the Tangled Shore, right? You're obviously, like, dismantling your stuff. But, as you rank, you actually get cores, too, at particular levels. So it's like, damn. Now that I'm, like, way past 100 and I'm not getting any rewards, it's like, shit. These damn cores come in super slowly. Just can't seem to dismantle stuff fast enough. And that's even after, like, turning in all my Vanguard and Crucible stuff. I mean, it's like, Jesus. None of this stuff gives me cores. Like, that's the one thing, man. Like, they should really look at, like, the percentage of stuff that you dismantle. It should be a higher percentage that gives you cores. It's just way too damn low. I swear. I don't know. I should probably, like, me that likes to do research, and I'm kind of a nerd, and, I have to be, right, if I'm in a doctorate program. But it might be interesting to see, like, what percentage of gear gives a core, right? I bet you that percentage is freaking hella low. Like, way too damn low. Like, Bungie needs to fix that, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like they care what we think anyway, right? So many people that complain on the boards or whatever. Hell, I'm still here, still playing. I suppose as long as they have people playing, they don't give a rip. Especially now Destiny's free, right? You just have to pay for certain things, cosmetics, and, well, obviously the downloadable content. Can't wait to see what they do for the next season. Like, even this season, I don't know if I like it. I was trying to debate as to whether or not I preferred last season over this season. I haven't decided yet. I don't like how I don't know. Sometimes it almost just seems like right? They just do something different just so they can say that it's different. It's not to say that it's better. It's just different, right? They can say that they changed things up. Yeah, like this whole mess with. I'm gonna be able to get that guy. But just like this whole mess with the nightmares now, right? Like, is it better than what we had the last go around? I don't know. But like I said, it's different. But yeah, it's different. And ultimately, I don't know. Maybe that's what Bungie's aim is, right? Like, they're trying to keep it fresh. They want us to, like, you know, want us to still be engaged. We got, like, sick and tired of all the other stuff from before, so now it's new, right? So now it makes me want to play. Who's shooting me? Oh, here we go. Oh, I didn't even see when this guy got ahead of me. Oh, no more trains. Make it easier for the next dude. But yeah, I'm just, you know, really wondering what they're gonna do next. Hell, if anything, what people should be blasting the boards with, and I don't know, maybe it's out there and I just haven't seen it, but they should be blasting the boards with different ideas of what Bungie should do next. I'm sure somebody out there has, like, a damn good idea. It's like just hard to come across good games nowadays. I think, pretty sure a lot of people are like tired of Fortnite now. And, you know, I played nothing but Fortnite, and then I started playing Destiny, and then I got tired of that. And I don't know what it was about Destiny before, but I didn't like it before. I think maybe because I just felt like as a solo player, I wasn't getting anywhere. You know, and you know now I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's like become more solo friendly. I mean, it still frustrates me that there are some things that you just can't do solo. But, I mean, I guess at least now I'm in a clan. And, you know, the clan's getting some stuff done. It's not a huge clan or anything, but big enough that we can actually, like, get the numbers to do certain things nowadays. At least the 3.
Important target, Guardian.
The 3. I don't know if we get... God, I don't even know if we ever even had 6 on. Like I said, it's a small clan. But at least those 3-mans... There's 3 peeps. Where's the big guy? Is he gone already? Oh man.
Cabal.
Man, this guy's kicked some ass.
Is on the march.
I didn't even see him. Busy talking to y'all.
Red Legion. What have they been up to after the war?
And
Stopped. The Cabal's seat of power now resides in orbit around
oh man.
and a giant fish.
Man, what a Saturday. It just feels productive. You know, like I said, got a lot of reading done, and I get to have some fun playing Destiny. That's one of the things about, you know, this doctoral program that I'm really enjoying. Oh, there's at least some flexibility in that, you know, I can go at my own pace in terms of how many classes I want to take a semester. You know, I know that some of the peeps are taking more than one. I'm like, screw that, man. I still want to be able to play Destiny for one. Have a life, you know? Hang out with the fam. Live life. Go out. Like, whatever. So I've been able to do all that. So I think that's what's making all of it just, you know, not stress-free, but, damn, more than bearable, you know? I'm not tripping about, like, not having a life, because I don't think I could do that. You know, if I was worrying about that, hell, I don't think I'd be in my program right now, because, you know, I'm not 20 anymore, and, you know, I live a pretty good life, you know, higher ed administrator, enjoy myself, and, you know, been able to do all the things I want to do. So, yeah, just it would really suck to feel like I'm back at the beginning. Yeah, I think these guys already went on. Well, let's take this full out, man. Yeah. Man, that power stroke is, oof, it's mean. Anyway, yeah, life is good. Life is hella good. I want to keep it that way. Huh, I should check to see if I already got all my my quests that deal with pulse rifles and void weapons? I think I did. Nah. Oh well. No time to check now. Alright, we're gonna have incoming here in a moment.
Dismantle mines, yes. Or
Yeah, but yeah, you know, if you come across this stream, like I said, I've been working in higher ed for a long time. You know, if you're ever curious about my take on it, just want to know anything that has to do with higher ed, feel free to reach out, man. Send me a message, whatever. Because, like I said, that's what I do. You know, I don't need to get paid to do it. You come across my stream, you're curious, you don't have a resource of your own, I will be that resource for you. And I'll tell you that, you know, my journey has been, it's been an interesting one. I can still recall that, you know, I almost didn't even make it into college. You know, like admission deadlines and all that business fall like, you know, at least for the 4-year publics and privates, probably sometime in January or February. And, you know, like community colleges, there's more flexibility. But, hell, here I was in July, and I hadn't done shit, like anything. I hadn't done shit. You know, but here I was, like, hey, I'm gonna go to college, yeah. And yeah, I'd missed all the deadlines. I hadn't applied for financial aid. I was really lucky in that, you know, I had someone that was kind of watching out for me, and you know, she was somebody from a high school, and she's like, "What? You haven't done any of that? You get your ass over here, like right now." You know, she was she was really strict, but hell, that's what I needed, and I mean, it worked out. And thanks to her, you know, she was able to like pull some strings and get me, I don't know, access to people that I didn't know, and they were able to help me get admitted, even though, as mentioned, right, I'd missed everything. I had to go through some exception process, but hell, man, we were able to work it out. So I ended up starting school, you know, the fall after I graduated. And I'm just, you know, so thankful for that. You know, I mean, not to say that I was kind of the last of my difficulties, because I was not the best student. I mean, I was in high school, you know, and I don't know, that was partially what led to my issues. Because I'm like, oh, hell, I don't need to study, right? Well, it's a little different in college. Like, stuff just comes at a much faster pace, and not just that, but you also have to, like, retain all of that material for a much longer period of time. So it's not like if you can just, you know, cram, right? That's the term, right? Like shove it all in there and then expect to like still have it when you test. There's no way you can cram when it comes to like the amount of material at the college level. Like just it doesn't work out the same way. So you really need to study so it all just sticks in there by the time you're tested on it. So yeah, I kind of learned that the hard way, and you know, it's just overconfident and way too involved. Got involved in all these student clubs and just, you know, was going out all the time, and probably didn't help that I lived with my cousins, right? And we were just our house was the party house. Like seriously, every weekend was like damn party. Even if I wanted to study, I probably wouldn't be able to anyway. But it was rough. It was hella rough, man. At the end of my first year, I had a 1.6 GPA. Ridiculous, man. It was so bad. And you know, the funny thing is, you know, when you get federal financial aid, well, yeah, some people refer to it as free money, but it's not free. You know, it's not free because there's actually an expectation that you're gonna, you know, you're gonna do something because you're receiving this money, right? Like you're gonna go to class, you're gonna do well, hopefully, right? So when you don't do that, there are consequences. I found that out. So yeah, you know, with a 1.6 GPA, well, you're just not exactly deserving of that aid, right? So yeah, I found out the hard way that, yeah, you don't do well, you don't keep that money. So yeah, that was really rough trying to figure out what the hell I was going to do and what I wanted to do, and I wanted to stick it out, and you know, end of the day I was able to figure it out, but I had to go to work full time, and like I mentioned before, there was a day where you could actually pay your way through school. But that was difficult anyway. You know, working full time and going to school full time, like it's tough. I didn't have a life. You know, and that's kind of a decision that I had made, you know, that summer after my first year. You know, I'd made that decision that I was willing to not have a life, right? Because I just valued being able to obtain a higher education that highly. And I'm really glad that I made that decision. It's just, you know, I think kind of led to the life that I have today. it's not to say that higher education guarantees anything, right? Because you have a lot of people out there that are underemployed too, especially anyone that was graduating when the shit hit the fan here like 10 years ago, right? 2009, 2010. Like a lot of those people just came out and there was nothing out there. But when you look at everything overall, I mean, there's no denying that if you have a college education, right, that you're more than likely to be better off than someone that does not. So many other factors that come into play too. I mean, what you study, that's a big deal, right? Obviously, you have someone that's going into a STEM field, they're going to be better off than someone that's going to social sciences, humanities, in many instances, right? And those particular degrees, right, like they lead to a particular job, right? You go out to be an electrical engineer, there are electrical engineering jobs, right? Now you graduate in philosophy, I don't think you're going to find anything. You do a job search for a philosopher, it's probably not out there, right? It's not to say that that degree is worthless. I mean, I think that it teaches you critical thinking skills, it teaches you to be a better writer, to present yourself, to be able to relay a message, but it's not something that directly translates to a particular job or career. So yeah, I think that's something that a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people just kind of think that going to college isn't worth it because of things like that, right? But it's like you need to look at the big picture. You need to look at everything, right? There's just so many more factors, right? And like let's say that. Well, I don't know. Let's say that I did get an electrical engineering degree, right? And there are jobs again, right? There are jobs for electrical engineers, but let's say that I'm a shitty interviewer. Or interviewee, I should say, right? I don't interview well. Or I don't have any people skills, right? I don't know how to talk to people. Yeah, all that stuff comes into play too. I mean, right? Who's gonna want to hire somebody that just you're a douchebag, right? Like you're just an a-hole to everybody. Like no, that's not how things work. So I mean, yeah, there are just a lot of factors. So when I'm talking to students, I always tell them like, you need to figure out how to be involved. You need to do more than just go to school. I mean, I know it's much more difficult for older students that are coming back just because they have families, they have jobs. But, that's kind of one of the things that I also found out once I became a graduate student when I went for my master's degree, right? Because, I was married, I was working full time, I was taking a couple classes, so it was about, 3/4 time. Yet I still found the time to be involved in my graduate degree student organization. And I met some people. I mean, you make some solid connections of people that are going to be able to like help you out down the road. You can help them. Just those connections make a world of difference, right? And then I've been able to utilize some of the connections to different people that I have out in the community to help other people find employment, right? Like a little sister of mine. It was a little sister of mine that lived in another state, and I remember when I was telling her, is her and the man that she met in college, they were just like, hey, we're gonna move over to where he's from, and I remember looking at the job market. She had graduated with mechanical engineering, and the job market for mechanical engineers in that state it didn't exist. There were no jobs out there for mechanical engineers. So I was doing my best to convince her to stay here. I know he's from over there, but hey, you're from here, right? You got connections here. You're not gonna find a job over there. Like I couldn't emphasize that enough, right? And him, he was in a field where he was easily able to find work, and he could have found that same work here, right? So here we were 2 years later, and she still was working in the same job because she was able to transfer out to her new state, but working in the same job, a shitty job, with her mechanical engineering degree. I mean, it was hella frustrating for me, and I was just like, Jesus, man, like this is the kind of stuff that people complain about. But I'm like, again, right, there are so many factors, right? And in her situation, like I already knew, and that's what I tried to convey to her. She wasn't going to find work in her field, right? So I kept telling her, I basically promised her. I'm like, if you come back, I will find you a job that utilizes your degree, right? And I told her that for, God, I don't even know, probably maybe after, well, yeah, it was about after that 2-year mark where she just still hadn't done anything, right? And I'd even look for jobs out there, like try and find anything and everything. But again, it was just so damn slim. There wasn't much out there. And we tried reaching out to her school where she graduated from to see if they had any connections. But again, there was just no market for it. So she finally made the decision to come back, right? And I'm like, give me your resume. Like, just give it to me. Right? Give it to me. Like, I'm going to give it to some peeps, right? I know some folks, right? Like, just, we're going to get this shit done. Dude, and I will tell you that within the span of a freaking month, 1 month, I had her employed within her field. Like, it just, God, it felt good. It just felt good because, you know, especially somebody that works in higher ed, it hurts, man, to see somebody not use their degree. I mean, all the effort, all the money, right? Everything you put into that, you know, and there's so many people that don't make it. It's like, God, nah, man, that's not acceptable to me. Like, we got to figure that shit out. So to be able to do that for my little sister, God, man, it felt so damn good. So got her this job that I would say it's the job of her dreams, because I remember asking her about, you know, a month or two in, I'm like, hey, so how's it going, right? Do you like it? Are the people nice? And she just couldn't say enough about that place. You know, everybody was amazing. She loved the people that she worked with, you know, and gosh, I don't even remember how long ago that was, but, you know, it was just a few months ago where she got a promotion. Like, they've moved her up, and we're talking a big step, significant step, right? Like, she's at that, like, next level of engineer or whatever in the heck. You know, I don't know how the rank system works there. But just, like, we're talking about, she got a nice raise. So, it's stuff like that that makes me happy, man. Because, hell, that's why I do what I do. I know the power of education. Right? I know what it can do for people. And, you know, the sad thing is just, like, there's just so much to it, right? You know, and especially, like, those of us that are first generation. You know, yes, now you have that piece of paper when you graduate, but again, right, it's a piece of paper, right? That piece of paper might get your foot in the door, but hell, it just as easily might not, because you don't know anybody. You don't know any folks. You don't have any connections, right? You don't have anything besides just the paper. You weren't in that student club of all these other engineers, right? You weren't showing that you had leadership skills because you were the president or whatever in the heck. I mean, so again, there's a lot to higher education, a lot to establishing those connections to be able to establish yourself in a career. And again, you know, you come across my stream and you have questions about any of that, reach out to me. I would love to talk to you, because that's what I do. But again, I was able to do this for my little sister, and God, man, I was so damn happy. I mean, there was nothing that could make me happier than being able to, you know, utilize some of that social, cultural capital, right, to help out my family. But again, you know, all that stuff takes work too. You know, if you're not out there making those connections, who the hell's gonna make them for you, right? Like I said, you know, I was a first generation student. I didn't have those. Yeah, a lot of that stuff I made afterward. Now that I'm a professional in the field. ¿Qué pasó, Chaparro? ¿Estás haciendo en el stream? My
head hurts.
Your head hurts? Head hurts. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué estabas haciendo? No, pero eso era ayer. No, acuéstate un ratito. Nada más, acuéstate y cierra los ojos. A ver cómo te sientes. I'm gonna die. Yeah, what happened to my backup? Where is everybody? I was so busy talking I didn't even, like, realize that I'm all alone. Huh. Let me help this Vex take out this Colossus. I need to start using my rocket launcher. I know that's one of the quests that I have. My bounties. Oh yeah, I need my auto rifle too for this Cabal.
He'll fail every time, but he doesn't know that.
Sounds horrible.
Anyway,
The future
yeah, where
when he
was I?
succeeds is much worse.
Okay, man. That's right, we were talking about connections and networking and, right, building capital and you don't have it. You don't have anyone else that has it. Yeah, I don't think that's new to anyone. You know, a lot of people talk about, you know, it's all about who you know. But yeah, I think it's a lot harder for people that are first-gen college students because you don't have anyone that's helping you make those. I think that's something too that colleges, especially of late, right? There's so much pressure to compete for students that some of the institutions, their response has been to do it through amenities, right? So some of these schools, man, we're talking about, they go all out, man. They have like floating rivers. So oh man, we're not gonna do that.
A lot of drink that hurts. That makes my head feel better.
Como que?
That's why I said if we have one.
A drink? No creo, mijo. Ahorita te voy a dar medicina, ¿ok? Ahorita que terminamos este strike. About. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, you probably noticed me speaking Spanish to my kids. Yes, I speak nothing but Espanol with my boys. Because that's kind of an interesting part of my journey too. When I was first starting college, I didn't really use Spanish a lot, so I was like what people call a pocho. It basically means like, yeah, you kind of know Spanish, but you kind of don't, or maybe like you speak it very little, or just like you have a friggin' accent.
Wait for it.
Yeah, I was definitely a pocho. So I went through so many different majors when I was going to school. But at the end of the day, I remember I was just getting tired of college, and I was like, God, I need to graduate, right? I've been here way too damn long. I don't have anything to show for it. And I'd already taken some Spanish classes because somewhere in there I ended up becoming like a bilingual education major. And then, I found out that just teaching wasn't for me. I mean, it was kind of cool. At least they put you in the classrooms, right? And I saw all my classmates, and they're like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm gonna give a lesson on the silent E." And me, I had no idea what in the heck, like how to give a. I mean, it just wasn't for me. But I found that after I think year 3, where they finally start plugging you into classrooms. But I'd taken some Spanish classes for the program, and just because I was tired and I needed to graduate, I was looking for like the shortest path. Ended up graduating with a Spanish degree. I mean, at the time I didn't feel so bad about it because, as mentioned, I was really strengthening my Spanish language skills, and felt that I was learning a lot about my roots because it's not like you learn that kind of stuff in high school. And just felt good. It felt good for me. And it actually related a lot to that job that I was working full time to put myself through school. There was some Spanish translation that I did there, so it seemed relevant for me, right? But it wasn't until a few years later where I was just like, damn man, I felt like I had taken the easy way out. I mean, I learned something, but I still felt like it didn't relate to what ultimately ended up becoming my career. My career in higher ed. So that was what led to my decision to go back for a graduate degree. I wanted something that related more to my career. So I went for my graduate education in public administration. But anyhow, I gotta go take care of my boy. See what's going on with him. But yeah, it's been fun chatting away. Again, come across my stream, you want to know more about higher ed, please feel free to use me. Use me as a resource. I would love to help. And yeah, I'll see you all again soon.